Hello, good evening, everyone. Tonight is another opportunity for us to have the Legal Hour program, proudly sponsored by CITI Law Solicitors. As I said from my intro, for the past few weeks, I've looked at various areas of the law. I've looked at employment law, I've looked at family law, personal injury. Tonight, I'm going to look at immigration, specifically how one can rely on a child, and I will give definition of a child in the course of my discussion tonight. How one can rely on a child to apply for leave to remain, even if that person, it is not biological parent. Many times people are sometimes asked to go and do DNA, even though now it's not lawful for Secretary of State to ask for that evidence. But in fact, you don't have to go through all that process, because there is a secret that I'm going to reveal to you tonight, how you can rely on that child that you are playing a role in his life to apply for your leave remain. You don't have to be a parent, biological parent of that child. Hey, I know that many things are going on. We have had a mini budget. We've had a lot of discussion about how some people are going to benefit from the budget, in terms of people who are able to buy a house as first-time buyers, who now don't have to pay stamp duty if they were to buy a house of about 425,000, and even those who may want to buy a second house, if it's about 250,000, they don't have to. But that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to teach finance, even though I have a background in finance. I'm here to teach the law, and I have chosen immigration to discuss as one of the areas of the law tonight, and specifically looking at children and those who have subsistent relationship as parents with those children. That means you have stepped in the shoe of that absent father or that absent mother. That is what I'm going to do tonight. So I want to take my time tonight to educate viewers on how they can rely on those children whom they might not necessarily be the biological parents, but they are playing role in their life. And I'm going to enumerate what sort of role that one plays in a child's life that might amount to parental relationship, and how that person can then gravitate or move from there to make an application to apply for leave to remain. So please, as I go on this short commercial break, just to enable viewers to prepare themselves for this beautiful topic, wherein I take my time to explain details of the immigration law in terms of parents, people who are here and in relationship and they want to rely on children who are under the 18 years to apply for their leave to remain. That is what I'm doing tonight. And I'm going to give you the background, the legal framework, and how one can go about it, so that when you hear that siren, you know that because of the role you are playing in that child, you'll be formidable. Don't go away. everyone. Thank you for your patience. I'm back here in this studio to take you through the law. There's one thing I always say. I am not a pharmacist, so I cannot give prescription. I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose you of your sickness. I am not a family mediator, so I cannot help to build your relationship. But there's one thing for sure. I know the law. So tonight I am here to educate viewers on the law, specifically on immigration, how one can rely on not being a biological parent. That child is not your child. It's not a miracle. It's within the law. So I'm going to give background and the legal framework how one can rely on a child that is not their biological child to apply for leave to remain whilst they are living in the UK. That's what I'm going to do tonight. So I want to take my time gradually to establish the legal framework and then eventually to be able to explain how viewers can go about this. This section is in English, and I must say that on Wednesday, we've made slight changes. So on Wednesday, instead of Thursday, MC Tracker will be here and then we'll be having the tree section. So please take note that instead of Thursday for the tree section, we're going to have it just tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll have the tree section. So if you want to join us tonight, you can join us tonight for the English section. And then on Wednesday, you can still join us for the tree. So guys, as I start from the beginning, I am not here to discuss the budget. But of course, I know that there have been a lot of stuff going on in terms of how people, especially who want to buy houses, will now can buy a house worth about $450, and eventually they will not have to pay any stamp duty. But please note, interest rate is more likely to also go up. So if you're on a variable rate, you are more likely to have to pay more on your mortgage. So you need to be careful if you are thinking of taking advantage of the sweetening. But I'm not here because of this tonight. Maybe another time I'll take my time to explain to viewers by bringing out my financial background in terms of how to advise viewers on some of this budget and all the things that is going on. But tonight is about immigration. Hey! So as I was saying, obviously people need to regularize their stay because they are here, they have come here to stay. And therefore, it is our duty to explain to people, and sometimes we educate them some of the laws. The laws are there, but of course, you need to be abreast with it in order to be able to rely on it to regularize that stay. And that's why I'm here tonight, to assist you to be aware of that law that fits into your situation so that you'll be able to rely upon it and to regularize your stay, being non-biological parent of a child. So, to start with, when I say a child, I'm looking at people who are under the age of 18. And obviously, if you look into the Appendix FM of the immigration rules, that is what they call a qualifying child. Qualifying child is a child that has been here, is either born here and has been here for 7 years. So that child has been born in the UK. That child has remained here continuously without traveling abroad for more than 6 months for 7 years. And that child is still under the age of 18. That's a qualifying child. One definition. The second definition is a child born today by a parent who has either of them that has settled status, in this case either EU settled status or indefinitely to remain, or British. That child is automatically born British. Either of the parents, so any of the two parents can have stay, and that child becomes British, and that child is a qualifying child. The third category of a child is somebody who has been brought from abroad. Maybe you came from any part of the world. You arrived here with your child who was perhaps 3 years. Unfortunately, you could not go back due to circumstances. You've lived here continuously for about 7 years. So this child that you brought 3 years old is now 10 years. He has lived here continuously for 7 years, 7-year rule. That child becomes a qualifying child under the immigration rules. So I've defined 3 categories of children. Now, when you look at the immigration rules, again, paragraph 6 of the immigration rule define who a parent is. And this is where people get confused. This is why most times people feel that they are not entitled to make applications because of the fact that that definition excludes them for being a parent. As if you look at the paragraph 6 of the rules, you realize that a parent can, 1, be the biological parent. That's number 1. Number 2, it can be the father, the stepfather in this case. So either the father, biological father, or the stepfather of a child whose other parent has passed away, or the stepmother of a child whose other parent has passed away, or the mother or the child, in this case, biological parents. So you realize that this definition excludes certain categories of people that I'm going to describe them and open doors to them tonight. So these people don't qualify as parents within paragraph 6 of the rules, and therefore they get so confused. However, I am taking you to, because I said from my background that I will look at the legal framework of this area in order to enable you to understand the grounds that you can rely upon it. So you realize that I have defined who a qualifying child is. I have defined who a parent is. So I'm sure by now you are getting to the point where you said, well, I don't fall within any of these categories because I'm not in a relationship with a partner whose, for example, the other parent has passed away, and therefore I am a stepmother or a stepfather. So this is the definition. It's quite tight, excludes a lot of people for being parents or relying on their position as parents to make an application. However, I'm taking you to the 2002 Act, which is the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002. This was amended in July 2014, and it gives definition of someone who has what they call parental relationship. So you notice that we've moved from parents to the definition of parental relationship within the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, amended in 2014. So there is what they call parental relationship. And when you look at section 117B subsection 6, it says that it is not in the public interest to remove someone except those with deportation orders who have parental relationship. So it means that if you have a parental relationship with a child and you are apprehended or immigration officers came to your house and took you to detention they don't have the right to take you to detention because it's not in the public interest according to section 117B subsection 6. Because you don't have deportation order on you, and because you have parental relationship with a child, perhaps in that household, they don't have that right to take you away to the detention center. So, those of you who are living with children in the same household, this is one of the things that you need to be considering. Now, I am moving gradually because tonight I'm quite serious. I'm taking my time to educate people. I'm taking my time to establish a legal framework that enables those who are not biological parents. You didn't give birth to that child. You are not the mother. You are not the father. But you have a right. Because of what? Section 117B subsection 6. Of the fact that you have that parental relationship. Now, let's look at what would the factors that will be considered if we were to consider one to have a parental relationship with a child. What are the factors? 1, you live, for example, in that household with that child. Perhaps sometimes you even take the child from school, or you send the child to school when the biological mother is not there. 3, you play an essential role in that child's life in terms of sometimes taking that child to the park, being involved actively in that child's life. 4, the other parent is not playing any role in that child's life. Tell me, there are a lot of parents, with respect to most of us, who give birth to children, they don't even want to see their faces. So you who have stepped into the shoe of that father, that mother, who doesn't want to help to bring up that child, you have established parental relationship with that child. That child now sees you as the father or the mother. In fact, I'll drag to a point when even grandparents with good grounds might be able to make application on this. And I will quote the law for you. If you want to challenge me, look at the case of Al-K versus the Secretary of State. It's established there. But tonight I am not here to bore you with legal jargons. I am here to explain the law in terms of how you, watching me tonight, can apply for leave remain, relying on that subsistent parental relationship with a child who is not your biological child to apply for leave to remain. That's what I'm doing tonight. Now, I'm moving forward. Let me just categorize the things that I have just said for those of you who have just joined me. I have first defined who a child or qualifying child is. I have also defined who a parent is. And I have said that that definition of a parent excludes those who are not biological parents. If, for example, both parents of the child are still alive, under paragraph 6. But that act, Nationality, Immigration, Asylum Act 2002, amended in 2014 July. Remember, in 2012 July, that was when we had this Appendix FM. In fact, this is the 10th year. So, more or less, it's been a decade since this law came into place when David Cameron was in power. And around 2014, this act was amended to establish parental relationship with children Why? Because when you look at the Borders and Citizenship Act 2009, if you look at section 55, it makes it clear that the local authorities, the Secretary of State, in this case Home Office, needs to consider the best interest of the child. Children are so important in this country. Don't neglect that child, because social services will come after you. And for those of you who are playing positive role in those children's life, Home Office is obliged to give you leave to remain, to continue to play that role in that child's life. Tonight, I'm here for children. Right. So if you look at section 55 of the Borders Act, it makes it clear that it is an obligation, mandatory, that whenever one states that he has a parental relationship in a child's life, which I have already explained, then it's an obligation that if that person puts in application, it is not just about that non-biological parent, but it is rather about the best interest of the child, whom that non-biological parent is relying upon to apply leave to remain, by saying that he or she has parental relationship with that qualifying child. I've already defined qualifying child. So you see where I'm going with. I'm building a case here. I am educating the public. I am making sure that you watching me tonight, who is playing a role in a child's life, has grounds for making application for leave to remain. Good. So gradually I'm getting there. So you realize I have considered the Nationality Immigration Act 2002. I have looked at the Borders, Nationality and Borders Act 2009, section 55, which looks at the best interest of the child. But in fact, to go further, if you look at the exceptions of the Appendix FM, exception 1 clearly also defines that if you have a parental relationship with a child, a qualifying child, then you should be entitled to leave to remain. So you hear that you don't have to be a biological father. There is no need to make application by sometimes stating that you are a father when in fact you are not a father. Because if the Secretary of State doubts the paternity or the maternity status, then even though they cannot compel you to do DNA, the onus is on you to prove it. Why do you want to put yourself through all that, when in fact there is a sections of the law provided for you? Let me tell you what, we do a lot of applications for parents. Once you give birth either as a mother or a father, straight away you make your applications. Most time you get good news. But tonight I'm not here for those biological parents. I am here for those who are not biological parents. Because remember, even if you are a biological parent, let me explain this thing to you. Sometimes most people think that the fact that they've given birth to a child automatically entitles them for leave to have leave to remain. No! You need to have parental relationship with that child. So, the starting point, it is not being biological father or mother of the child. The starting point is having parental relationship with the child. And I've already explained some of the factors that are taken into account if the Secretary of State, which is Home Office, is to consider parental relationship. And I said, one could be the fact that you live in the same household unit with the child, relationship with the mother or the father, the other parent who is absent is not playing any role in the child's life. It is for you to prove that in a way. For example, you take the child to school, you take the child out, you have photographs, you probably do other stuff with the child, the child, if he goes to school, you're on record as somebody who has the emergency contact to pick the child when the mother or the father is not available to do that. If the child was to go for appointment, you are there to do that. In fact, if you have had any contact with the social services, they are aware of the essential role that you are playing in that child's life. That means that anytime you make an application for leave to remain, Secretary of State is obliged to look at Section 55 of the Borders Act. The best interest of that child. It's not about you, it's about that child. So yours is just to establish that parental relationship. And once that has been established, there is now a duty. The word duty means that it's quite a strong, it means that it is mandatory that the Secretary of State have to explain why they should not give you leave to remain, because the role you are playing is in the best interest of that child. You don't have to be the biological father. You don't have to be the biological mother. But you are playing a role because the Section 117B subsection 6 of the Nationality Immigration Asylum Act 2002 makes it clear that it is not in the public interest, with the exception of those with deportation order, to remove one who has parental relationship with a qualifying child. So you see, in this case, the fact that you are playing in a role, and remember, sometimes people will say, oh, you are a grandparent, you cannot apply for leave to remain. No. We need to teach the law on this platform. People understand the law. Because one thing that we've realized from practice is that even sometimes with respect to case workers, they don't know most of the directions. So it is you as a lawyer to direct them to the point where if they are confused, they can then cross-check and accept the fact that this is right. This person must be granted leave to remain. So tell me, whenever I come to this platform, I don't just speak fiction, I speak facts. It is not about you being a parent. It's about you having parental relationship. Because there are two sets of the law, which is the Nationality Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, amended in 2014, July, that talks about the fact that under those circumstances where you have a parental relationship, except those with deportation order, it is not in the interest of the public. When we say it's not in the interest of the public, because the Secretary of State, remember, needs to control immigration. We cannot allow everybody to come into this country. And therefore, it is in the public interest to refuse some people. However, the Secretary of State's hand is tied where there is a parental relationship, because there is another law that says that they need to consider the best interest of that child under Section 55. And this is a law that has been in place since 2009. So you realize that it doesn't matter whether you are a grandmother, it doesn't matter whether you are a partner. What matters is that you must have that parental relationship with that child. And it is for you to explain and play and let the Secretary of State understand the circumstances that if you are not there, it will affect the best interest of the child. I think at this point I want to acknowledge my viewers who are on this platform tonight. If you are watching me tonight, if you can make a comment and then I will acknowledge you. It's always a privilege to have all of you on this platform. If this is the first time that you've joined us, we do this program every Tuesday. And now, Tuesday in English and Wednesday in Chi. Program will be hosted by MC Chaka every Wednesday. It used to be on Thursday, but we shifted it to Wednesday now. So guys, this is where we teach the law. This is where we give free legal advice. This is where we make law affordable. This is where we conscientize those who don't know their left from their right, so that they know that there is an opportunity somewhere that they need to rely upon it to regularize their stay. We don't just teach immigration, we discuss employment law here, family law, personal injury, civil litigation, all kinds of law, areas of law are discussed on this platform every Tuesday and Thursday. So at this point, I want to acknowledge my viewers. If, as I've said before, if you are watching me tonight, kindly, wow, Facebook is always making changes. Right, so at this point, I can see that, wow, it's quite difficult for me to see those who are watching. But guys, if you are watching tonight, probably you need to make a comment, because it appears that you guys are not commenting on the show, and therefore it's becoming difficult for me to. I have Fred Asare who is watching. I have Diwa Hamidi is very useful. Diwa, I hope you are doing very well. I have Tina Tamakro is a good job. Tina, once again, welcome. I have Gabriel Bankori, who is also watching tonight. I have Winfred Chate Anan, it's a nice one. I have Fred aside. Good evening, boss. You talked last week. Okay. Yeah, so guys, let your comments keep coming. And Covenant Grace, you've been absent for a long time. I relish the fact that you come on the platform and ask questions. So please do join us. Remember, we are here Tuesday and this time every Wednesday as well. So welcome back, Covenant Grace, and thank you for joining us tonight. I have Sophia Asong. It's a great job, lawyer. So Asong, I will give you feedback probably tomorrow. Yes. I have Vice Ohene Bar for thanks, lawyer. Keep up with the hard work and for the in-depth knowledge shared from Jones. All right, Jones, thank you for joining us tonight. Right, so guys, I always say that there's always hope, and those who are Christian, they say the lack of knowledge, my people perish. Tonight, I am here to give that knowledge so that you don't perish at all, because there is a vast area of law. There is a door for everyone to go through. It's just about you knowing what door to enter into, so that you don't get stuck behind that door. So you need to have that knowledge, and that's what I'm doing here, preparing people to understand their rights, so that when they hear that siren, they don't panic. Because, tell me, there are a lot of people who are living with children in various households. They are playing a role in those children's life. But they don't know that that role, that essential role they are playing, allows them to make application for leave to remain by the fact that they have parental relationship with those children whom they are playing a role in their lives. So that's what I've been discussing tonight. I'm just going to summarize what I've done tonight and eventually bring this program. But at the same time, I'm going to open the phone lines, and as I do always, I'm going to advertise CITI Law Solicitors, because they are the proud sponsors of this wonderful show. So once I've opened the phone lines, you permit me to advertise CITI Law and areas of law that they practice. At the same time, if you want to ask questions through the WhatsApp, through phone call, you don't have to mention your name. You don't have to tell me where you are calling from. I respect your privacy and confidentiality, and I'll be able to answer any legal question as long as it's within my areas of practice and jurisdiction. I am here, well prepared for those questions. It's free legal advice. Right. So guys, the sponsor for this program is CITI Law Solicitors. If you are looking for CITI Law Solicitors, you can find us at Barking. I always say that we have a very wonderful KFC there. You can just go in there and have a piece of chicken. And then just after you have walked past the KFC, you turn right. Just turn right by the zebra crossing. Don't cross that zebra crossing. There's a road there called Cambridge Road. If you walk for less than 2 minutes, there's a traffic light. You see Barking Enterprise Center on the right-hand side of the traffic light. And that is where City Law Solicitors are. Our office address is Unit 113-122 Barking Enterprise Center, 50 Cambridge Road, Barking, IG 118FJ. For those of you who have my mobile number, I'd love to speak to you, but sometimes I can't speak to everybody at any particular time. Therefore, I entreat you to take note of this office number. Our office number is 020-33550782. Please, the office number is also on the scrolling screen, so you could find it there. Please take note of the office number. We have a team of lawyers who are prepared to take up your case. So if you call the office number, any one of my colleagues, my able colleagues, will be able to assist you. So please take note of the office number. Now, we also specialize in various areas of law. We first and foremost specialize in immigration, which is what I'm doing tonight, making sure that those who are playing a role in children's life, having a parental relationship, is not myth, it's not fiction, it's the law. So we specialize in immigration. If you have any immigration problem and you want it to be resolved, we are here to assist you. We are here to advise you appropriately so that you can be able to make successful application. Employment law, if you have been dismissed, if you are being bullied at work, if for whatever reason you are having problem with your employer, we give advice on employment law. We also represent those who want to make claims against the employers who have either treated them unfavorably or dismissed them unfairly. If you are also an employer and you want to defend a claim, we can also represent you as a company, as a corporate entity, to defend that claim. Family law, I love this family law. Last time we had a discussion about prenuptial agreement, which I'm sure most of you have been watching it for some time now. So, City Law Solicitors, I must say that we are not just family lawyers, we are family law accredited. I always make that distinction. We are not just solicitors, we are family law accredited. It means that we are the peak of the practice of the family law because we are accredited in the family law. So if you have any family law matter and you want a best outcome, be it non-molestation or occupation order, divorce, matrimonial cases, we are here to assist you. Personal injury and clinical negligence, if you ever had an accident that was not your fault at the workplace, at some premises in the shopping center, we are also here to assist you. And most of these cases are done on no win, no fee basis. Commercial disputes and civil litigation, those of you who are being owed by people who don't want to pay you, they've promised to provide a service, they fail to deliver on those promises by providing those services. You bought something but they didn't deliver it. You want to form a company, maybe you want to have some shareholder agreement, directors agreement, whatever it is that you want to do, form a partnership business, you need a partnership agreement because very soon when the money starts coming, there will be a dispute. So you need to put all this legal framework in place before you commence your business. We are here to assist all these small businesses to put all these things in place. And consumer law, which is what sometimes can be if the insurance company is failing to compensate you or pay your premium, we are here to also assist you. So guys, these are the areas that we specialize in, and I entreat you that if you ever have any of these issues, legal matters, then don't hesitate to contact City Law Services. Now tonight, to give a summary, as I said, I'm putting the phone lines there. The phone lines are on the screen. If you want to ask a question, you can do that. The phone numbers are 0744 033 8623, 0744 033 8623. That's the first mobile number. If you want to call into this program to ask a question or make a contribution, the next phone number, which is the second mobile number that you can call, is 079 3293 4518, and these phone numbers are now on the screen. So for those of you who want to look at it. So tonight I have looked at a very distinct area of the immigration law. I have looked at the fact that you don't have to be a biological parent. You only have to have parental relationship with that qualifying child. A child is somebody who is under the age of 18. And once you have parental relationship with that qualifying child, I have always explained that this is defined in law, both in the Nationality and Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, amended in July 2014. And then it's also in 2012, if you look at Appendix FM exceptions, 1A, it also makes it very clear that you can, once you have a parental relationship with a qualifying child, in this case, I have defined it to be a child who is under the age of 18 and was born in this country and has been here continuously for 7 years, or was brought from abroad and is still under the age of 18 and has lived here continuously for 7 years and still under the age of 18, or a child born today or tomorrow whose either parents may have either leave to remain or indefinitely to remain or British, so therefore that child becomes automatic British. So all these qualifying children, if you have parental relationship with them, both under the Appendix FM exception 1A and the Nationality and Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, subsection 117, subsection 6, makes it clear that you are entitled to apply for leave to remain. And then under section 55 of the Borders and Citizenship Act 2009, it makes it clear that the Secretary of State is obliged, is mandated, is under a duty to consider the best interest of that child. So they have to explain why you are playing a role in that child's life, and it's in the interest of that child, and why they will not give leave to remain for you to continue to play that essential role in that child's life. That parent is no longer playing that role, either of the parents. So you have stepped into the shoe of that absent parent, be it the mother or the father. So guys, that's what I've been discussing for tonight. Tomorrow we are going to have another section of the Legal Hour program. Same time from 9 p.m. with MC Chaka in the Tree language. So I want to urge those of you who couldn't join us tonight to join us tomorrow. And for those of you who want to also enjoy the Tree section of the show, we'll be here tomorrow. Thank you for joining us tonight. God bless you. Thank you.